the Ad Lib Podcast. Hey guys, sorry, I think the audio was off there for a second. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number 84. I hope all our viewers and listeners are doing well. And Franco, good to have you back. How's it going, my friend?
Hello, sorry, I was muted there just to make sure that the sound doesn't go off suddenly. Hello again, replacing Joe, who's been very busy recently. I've been doing okay. How have you been doing, Andrea?
Not bad, not bad. I had a good week. I had some free time this week, to be honest. Watched lots of stuff.
I saw your letterbox. I'm like, I really have to up my game, man.
Popping off. Yes, this week was like crazy. I'll talk about it when I talk what I've been up to, basically. And I have a small project I want to start after the Santa Maria holidays, but I'll talk about that in a bit. And you, Franco, doing good?
I'm doing fine. Just managed to watch Maxine. Still reading some books. Busy with editing mostly. What else? But I look forward to pick up the pace once I'll be a bit freer. I'm doing some really good work with Dark Malta Tours. And by the way, we have to tell our listeners that we have a very special occasion on the 21st.
On the 21st, definitely. So Bruce, who I think is joining us today, came up with a fantastic concept. Basically, he asked us to choose like a cult horror film, a film that will pull in people. Basically, we decided on The Devils, and we will be showing this film on Blu-ray, so the quality is going to be amazing, on the 21st at, remind me the name of the pub, Franco, we were at last week.
The pub.
At the pub. At the pub in Valletta, of course. We were there how long ago, Franco? 2 weeks ago?
Well, I think about 2 weeks ago, yeah. Oh, yes, when we had the drink after, what did we watch? What did we watch back then?
At the cinema, at Embassy, we had watched.
I think Twisters. Was it Twisters?
Could be. Yes, exactly. Twisters, yeah. Always a fun time there. At the pub, I have a lot of history there at the pub. They used to organize. Coincidentally, look at the top shelf. They used to organize Hearthstone competitions. I won that soft toy at a Hearthstone competition. They used to organize at the pub these like Hearthstone events where basically lots of people who play Hearthstone used to go there and play, bring their laptop and whatnot and play either on their tablet, mobile or laptop. It used to be really fun. And it used to be packed. Yes, every event used to be really packed. There was a period of time when Hearthstone was like, everyone was playing it. Everyone was playing Hearthstone. Good times. I miss them. But yes, so that will be on the 21st. If you're interested, please make sure to check out the Facebook event and join us. It will be a very, very, very fun event indeed.
So look at Video Nasties 24 and The Devils. It should be on the events tab in the Facebook page.
Exactly. And we'll be doing a small discussion. Joe will introduce the film because me and Franco haven't touched it. And then after the film, we'll do a full discussion, kind of like what we think about the film. Curious to see if we'll like it or not.
Will we do it? Do like a live podcast? It would be interesting to do a live podcast.
That's going to be a little hard though because of all the noise.
Oh, no. We have the noise cancellation and whatnot.
Hello, Yella.
Hello, Yella.
Anyways, let's get into it. So, our week. So, Franco already spoke about his week. So we already mentioned more or less what you've watched. Although then you're going to go into a bit of detail, right, about a couple of films, Franco. So you can go in for it.
I mean, Maxine, you already discussed it. I agree with what you said basically about Maxine. It's the weakest of the trilogy. Good visually, but I found some problems with pacing. And the more you speak about the ending, about the shootout, the more I'm like, you're right. And it's like this time around. He was afraid to push the envelope, T West, because with Pearl and with X, he really pushed it over there. It's like this was quite tame in comparison.
Yeah. Hello, Bruce. By the way.
Hello,
choice.
Bruce.
So it was Joe's choice, to be fair. It was a very good idea, though.
No, of course, Joe's choice, and we're gonna pop the cherry. Me and Andrea and I. Basically, it's the first time.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. So and yeah, Maxine. It's the weakest of this. For me, the personal favorite will always be Pearl. My brother is looking forward to watch the trilogy as well. But as far as setting goes, perfect. Like even the neon and whatnot.
Production design, lighting, like visually, the camera work, great references to so many different classical Hollywood films and the Giallo horrors, and it's like the references were endless. Like, I mean, literally, they have two big scenes on the set of Psycho. So there was the Back to the Future action sequence set, the park, where there's a whole action scene there as well. Lots of really good references.
It's good to see Kevin Bacon back.
Yes,
so
best
good.
part of the film, in my opinion. Together with Mia Goth, I think they were the best parts of the film. So yeah, I had fun. I had fun watching it, Franco. I had a real good time watching it. Of course, not as good as Pearl and not as good as X, although I loved Pearl. I thought Pearl was like up there. If I had to give it a rating, somewhere around the 4.5 as a rating. Pearl. X, I'd give it a 4. Maxine, I'd give it a 3.5. I think it's more or less those are the ratings I would give.
Same. It was basically same for me. I liked X, loved the Pearl, and then Maxine. It was okay. I mean, I wish again it got the potential to be better. And then the other one I can briefly discuss it. It's Made in England, the films of Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. People who like classical movies, they have The Red Shoes, Black Narcissus. There's also A Matter of Life and Death. I watched only A Matter of Life and Death, but this creative duo was a powerhouse back in the 50s, and it's basically a documentary narrated by none other than Grandpa Cinema, Martin Scorsese. And it's enjoyable. I finished it today. I took it I saw 1 hour yesterday and 1 hour today. I can't wait to bite into their movies because they are visual wonders, especially back in the 50s and 40s. The Technicolor is amazing, and I like me some Technicolor.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want an introduction to their movies, this is a great introduction. Narrated by none other than Martin Scorsese. What else can you ask from such a documentary?
100%. Franco, do you have anything else to talk about? Because this would make an amazing segue to what I have to talk about.
Not at all. Let's see the segue.
So, because recently, viewers of this podcast and people who know me know how much I love history of film and how much I love reading and so on about it and watching. And I recently took a task, and I've been meaning to start this for years, to start off basically from 1915 and set off on this journey from 1915 onwards, watching all the big movies. And I'm like, I have a lot of, blank spots here and there of films which everyone talks about, but I haven't watched. For example, one of the films I watched was what's it called now?
Nosferatu. I saw Frankenstein.
I watched Nosferatu, Frankenstein. So many films. Let me bring it up on my letterbox because I've been watching so much shit recently.
Have you seen Passion of John?
Yeah, it's right in front of me. So I was going to start off with that.
Okay.
It's right in front of me. I wish I could share my screen. I watched it on the 20th of July. I wanted to mention it. So, Passion of Joan of Arc. This is one of the films which you listen to people who are crazy about film talking about. You listen to directors like Martin Scorsese and so on talking about it. And it's a silent film. Why should I watch it? And I watched it. It's 90 minutes? No, it's a bit longer than 90 minutes actually, 1 hour 50 minutes. But the editing and the close-ups are so intense, and it's crazy, and it's so good.
Isn't it the first instance in cinema where a close-up was used? Because before, I saw that you saw Birth of a Nation. It was more like
yes.
theater, basically. You see
Exactly. Exactly. Most it used to be a theater. You sit down in the cinema and you're watching a play, basically. Although to be fair, Birth of a Nation does have one panning scene, which is really impressive for the time, where first we see a group of people talking, and then the camera pans to the right, and you see an army marching. And that was incredibly cinematic for 1915. That was great. I think it was the first time this was ever done in a film, where you have like this panning scene. Showcasing the landscape. But yes, these kind of extreme close-ups, which again you can see on the screen as well, are really effective in Passion of Joan of Arc. And I think this is a must-watch for anyone at all interested in making films. The intensity of this film translates brilliantly. And I was like, how are they going to make a silent film in which the whole point of the film is a court case? And the whole point of court case is, dialogue, people speaking. But it just works. Obviously, it's a silent film, so some of the acting is a little exaggerated. It was, the whole thing about silent film was actors need to, add a bit more, to their facial expressions and so on. But the performance by Maria Falconetti, who I think this is probably her only film, was it? Or one of her only films?
I would not know.
One of her only films. Maria Falconetti was...
that's interesting. Antonin Artaud. Antonin Artaud is quite a personality in the theater. I didn't know that he did Joan of Arc. This is new for me, or I forgot.
Yeah, he also stars in Napoleon, which that's one it's the Abel Gance one, the 4-hour, 5-hour movie. Okay, I'm watching a lot of films from this period of time, but yeah, I can't do 4 hours. I need to find the time. Anyways, I watched lots of films. I started from 1915, then I watched the 1916 Intolerance. I was talking to Bruce about it yesterday, coincidentally. I watched Dracula, Quite on the Western Front, Frankenstein. Some of the most impressive were M. I watched M recently. We were discussing it yesterday as well.
Fritz Lang. I have to see it. I started it, was enjoying it, and I've never finished it since then. But
it's great. It's great. The film itself really doesn't have a big. How do you?
Yeah, you have to find Fritz Lang.
Yeah. The film itself doesn't really have any main characters. The antagonist is there, but it's mostly seeing groups, the police and the criminals searching for the child murderer, basically. And it's impressively done. It's like the final 30 minutes are just so good, and Peter Lorre his performance in this is one of the best performances I've ever seen, period. The fact that an actor could make me almost empathize for a child killer is mind-blowing.
Did he redo it? Did he redo it, or am I with...
No, basically what they did was they made an English language version with Peter Lorre and the other actors speaking in English. But it's I watched the German version, the original version, where they speak in German. Peter Lorre, of course, brilliant actor, whom I watched in another film later on. I watched him in The Man Who Knew Too Much. One of the earlier, you can see his name up here, one of the earlier Hitchcocks, which of course Hitchcock himself then did a remake of, which I have your DVD, Franco, which I will check out when I reach the 1950s. But this is the original, The Man Who Knew Too Much, one of his British thrillers. Excellent film, another very excellent film. Again, cinematography, the editing, obviously great editing. But the one thing I was most impressed with this film was the comedy. Such a funny film. There are some scenes where I was just laughing out loud. And it's like, you've got a kidnapped kid, and I'm laughing my ass off, and it's so good to see. I wish directors were more ballsy today to do this kind of it doesn't remove any of the tension of the film. It's just so well done that the tension is still there, but you're laughing. Great film.
Suspense.
Yes. But the best film, I think the best film from all of these that I've watched, there are two films that I actually wanted to most focus on. One of them is Shanghai Express, which is insanely good, starring the stunning Marlene Dietrich, a beautiful, beautiful example of film noir. And I was really surprised by how much Marlene Dietrich's character gets to do. Not only her, but even Anna May Wong's character. Two females are the ones who push the plot forward. And it's really impressive to see. And very, very progressive, even in the way it looks at sex and sexuality. I mean, basically, it's implied that they are both prostitutes. Obviously, pre-code. Naturally, you wouldn't be talking about these topics once that happens. But yes, superlative performances by Marlene Dietrich, Anna May Wong. Costumes are beautiful. The lighting, and the shadows, incredible stuff.
Film noir.
That It Happened One Night was another first time watch. And this has gone up there as some of my favorite films, one of my favorite films of all time. Frank Capra, brilliant. The scene, obviously, everyone's seen this particular scene you're seeing on screen right now, the hitchhiking scene, which has been parodied and shown and referenced in a million different films. But the chemistry between the two, between Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, is just mind-blowing. So good. Yeah. These are some film recommendations. Now, what I wanted to mention, Franco, is I'm going to start a new project post Santa Maria, and after this we'll get into basically all the news and trailers we have to talk about. But I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to be posting on my personal Facebook and on the Ad Lib Podcast Instagram, where I'm going to be making some videos. I'll try and make it a weekly thing where I'll talk about all the different films I've watched that week. I'll keep it very simple, minimal editing and whatnot. I'll just be talking about, I watched this film, I recommend this, it's good because of this, and this. I'll try and keep it as short as possible, but yes, I think it will be a good way, again, to advertise the podcast and a good way to give, film recommendations to people who are looking for them. Similar, I got the idea basically from friend of the show, Bob. Hello Bob, might be watching the podcast right now. I got the idea from Bob, who does it with books. And check out Bob's page. He does a great job. He reads an insane amount of books. By the way, Franco, did you see the news piece about like 80% of Maltese people don't read a book? Haven't read a book last year, didn't know.
I mean, it's let's say, but some people have also what you call it, like the Kindle, maybe, but maybe that's what they mean by book. I hope it's not the case, but
I'm sure they would count a Kindle. Like, I mean, at this point, I'm so addicted to my Kindle. Like, I cannot go to sleep without spending an hour on my Kindle, which is a problem because I'm sleeping very late now.
I know it's TMI, too much information, but whenever I go to the toilet, I leave my phone and just take a book. if I have a long session at the toilet, I just read, basically. Bob accounts for at least 10% of the...
True. So true.
Yeah, but
good one.
I mean, apparently Romania's 80%.
Yeah, but it's a worrying thing because reading is so important. Like, it's so important to. Like, I cannot express how much important it is. Obviously, I am a teacher of English. I teach English, so I mean, it's my job to constantly harp on about how important reading is. But
it is. To be honest, my reading, my reading obsession started after school, because I hated. I'm not joking. I hated reading during my secondary school, and then I just found lots of books. Not Lord of the Flies, but I have Catcher in the Rye, Murakami. So I just went on my own adventure and then read it. Like, I wasn't really particularly a fan of Enid Blyton and whatnot. Never read and don't get me wrong, I've never read the classics like Great Expectations or whatnot. I will eventually, but for example, I'm one of the few people that doesn't like Great Gatsby, neither the book nor the movie.
Really, Ostra? I love the book. I like the film.
And there was also I have his Tender is the Night. I don't know. I felt I didn't feel as emotionally connected as to other books. It's
fair enough.
I mean, that's the thing. But then there's also like reading lots of Maltese books. I haven't been reading much fiction recently. I have a book I have to get through called Scythe, funnily enough, by Ryan Falson.
Is erotic fan fiction on AO3 considered a book? Asking for a friend. I mean,
AO3. What's AO3? Wait.
Oh, true. AO3. What's AO3?
You have to explain, Yella. We are. Don't look it up.
I have to
share on screen as well.
No. I'm not sharing anything on screen. AO3. I'm not understanding this. I think I'm too old for this. I don't know. But maybe Yella can explain it to us in the chat.
Yes, please. Explain to us boomers, basically.
Anyways, let's get into it, Franco. So, today, by the way, viewers and listeners, if you're enjoying the podcast, we have 7 viewers right now. Don't forget to leave a like. Oh, archive of our own. Okay.
AO cubed. Okay.
Oh, okay. Got it. Viewers and listeners, if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to leave a like. And please do subscribe if you have not done so already. Today, we've got any fandom you fancy? There's fanfic there. Oh, okay. Interesting. We've not got too much to talk about. With regard to topics, we've got a couple of trailers. A trailer for Saturday Night, a trailer for Disclaimer, which we'll be talking about now. A lot of D23 news. Most of it, to be honest, is just, hey, we're doing this, hey, we're doing this. So there's really not much to discuss, but there's a few trailers we can go through. Then we'll end the podcast with 2 reviews. A review for Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, and a review for Borderlands. I'll end the podcast with a rant there. Or maybe I'll end with Trap, to be honest. I want to end on a positive note. We'll do that. So
I'll be leaving you there with the safe hands of teacher of English Andrea.
So let's start off, Franco. First topic of the day, Saturday Night. We got the trailer. I've been seeing the posters for this. I've been seeing the cast for this. It's been piquing my interest a lot. And then we got the trailer live from New York. It's the first Saturday Night. The trailer for Jason Reitman's Saturday Night has been released, and with it comes a nerve-wracking look at the chaotic 90 minutes that led up to the first SNL broadcast. Reitman and Jill Kinnan penned the screenplay together. Trailer for the film.
Who wrote it again? Sorry.
Reitman and Jill Gil Kennan. Kennan, I'm guessing Kenan. Trailer for the film finds SNL executive producer Lorne Michaels, played by the Fabelman's breakout Gabriel LaBelle, fighting tooth and nail to get the show off the ground smoothly. Doesn't seem to be going well. Standing in his way are unpredictable cast members and nagging studio executives. At one point, Michaels yells with passion, NBC is lucky enough to have something as relevant as the show. Saturday Night releases in theaters October 11th, 2024. From Sony Pictures, Franco, you had a look at the trailer for SNL, Saturday Night. What do you think?
I'm really not convinced by the casting of Dan Aykroyd. I don't know why you put a handsome actor like what's his name, Daniel O'Brien, I think. Dylan O'Brien. How do you put Aykroyd as I mean, because then there's like, for example, the guy who's playing John Belushi is really he's on point. There's also Jim Henson. He like spitting image, and even Chevy Chase actor. There are lots of newcomers here as well. Where is? I'm trying to see where is Chevy Chase. Corey Michael Smith. No, Corey Michael Smith is not a newcomer actually. But I saw a bit where he says like, "Oh, oops, sorry, I fell over my penis." That
was so good.
the spirit is there of Chevy Chase, who is in real life a big a huge jerk. It's not his penis that he's huge. It's his ego. I don't know how much they're gonna show the warts and all of the production, because I've heard many stories said that not only was it chaotic but very tense and like lots of burnouts as well. And there's also what's his name, the son of Cooper Hoffman. I'm looking forward for Cooper Hoffman, man. He's such a good actor. The son of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The ambience seems on point.
Yes.
Who's directed by the way? Is it by...
directed by Wait 1 second. Directed by. We don't get the name of the director here.
Maybe we can see at the end of this of the trailer.
Anyways.
Jason Reitman. Okay. So.
Okay. Yeah, Jason Reitman.
It's promising because Reitman is quite good.
Who we've seen doing Juno.
There's the Clooney one as well, up in air, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't watched that one.
No, he's a capable director. Up in the air, yeah. There's Tully. His recent outings were Frozen Empire and Afterlife. So I'm like,
Oh yes, but that's the one for them, one for me. No,
most probably.
I like the tone, Franco. I don't know about you, but like both visually and even in the dialogue, it seems very witty. There's some nice little, quips, which you would expect from a Saturday night film, portraying like what goes on in the background. Again, like you, I really like that I fell on my dick joke. Very fun. I think visually the production design looks very good.
I don't know why that is so funny. That's Andy Kaufman. And that spiel he does is hilarious.
However, unlike you, Franco, I don't know any of the SNL lore. I don't watch SNL, so I'm not too familiar with this. So it'll be interesting to see if this film can actually be watched by someone like myself who is unfamiliar again with the SNL lore. I'm curious to see if they'll make me care about the characters if I don't know who they're portraying.
I mean, even if you don't know anything about the lore, I think as a movie view, I hope it doesn't go too meta to the point that you don't understand certain references as well.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind if it goes meta, but as long as the film still has stakes for someone like myself, again, who doesn't really know what's going on and who these people are. But I do know like the general setting, of course, but I don't know who these people are. As long as they create, characters whom I can care about in the film, and as long as there's tension and there's like a plot I can follow, I'm fine with there being some reference here and there which I miss out on. Of course, that's not a problem. But we'll see. I think visually it looks on point. Production design looks very good. This is quite a cheap film to make anyway, so. Nothing out of this. We're literally filming on a set, so nothing too big here. Again, even the costumes look fine. So yeah, I think overall looks interesting. Again, I'm curious to see if for someone like myself, if it'll work. Someone who's not familiar with the SNL lore. Moving on, viewers and listeners, to our second trailer of the day. I had no idea this existed. Thankfully, Franco brought it to my attention. And here we're talking about the trailer for Disclaimer. Things are beginning to unravel for Cate Blanchett in the first teaser for Disclaimer, a new limited series written and directed by Academy Award-winning filmmaker Alfonso Cuarón, who is one of my personal favorite directors. Apple TV Plus pulled the curtain back on the trailer Wednesday morning based on the novel of the same name from René Knight. Disclaimer stars Blanchett as Catherine Ravenscroft, a celebrated journalist who receives a novel from a mysterious source that threatens to expose her own dark past. Stars has a really impressive cast. Kevin Kline, Sacha Baron Cohen, Cody Smith-McPhee, Squid Game breakout Hoyon, Leslie Manville, Louis Partridge, and Layla George. Cuarón, who last worked in television on the 2014 fantasy drama Believe, serves as both writer and director for Disclaimer. So a really impressive cast. I mean, obviously, we've got Alfonso Cuarón writing and directing. What more can you want? And obviously, Cate Blanchett starring.
Yep.
What do you think, Franco?
No,
It's a match made in heaven.
From the trailer, it looks even the trailer was a great teaser trailer. Finally, no cover versions, orchestral cover versions, and it's just the words and her saying you have to I forgot the exact words, but it's like you have to take this not to be taken by the words. Kevin Kline looks
yes.
I think there's lots to chew on in this even this bit when it's like it passes through. Even Sacha Baron Cohen. I haven't seen Sacha Baron Cohen in a serious role. I know he did.
I saw him in that series, that that spy series.
The spy series.
What was the name of that spy series? He was very good in it. I really enjoyed that series. Jesus, what was the name of that series?
No,
Don't continue, Franco. I'll find. No, it wasn't Jesus.
No, I forgot as well. But like I said, basically, I can say it's amazing. Like, it looks very promising. He was also in the trial of Chicago 7.
Yes, that one. And the spy series, you know what it was called?
What?
The Spy.
Wow.
But very good. Very, very, very good show. Highly recommended. Highly recommended.
And
the tension in that was one of the most tense series I've ever watched, honestly.
And by the way, I don't know, do we have another series trailer to?
No, this was the last one. This was the last
because
trailer.
Speaking of historical series, and I'm going to send you in the chat over Boomcaster, I forgot to send you this one, which is an interesting combination of Italian history and British director. It's called Son of the Century. Is going to be.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah,
and it looks interesting as well, especially visually. Like I'm looking forward to see even the actor Luca Marinelli. He's a great actor. I think he was in The Eight Mountains, which I haven't watched, but many people praise Luca Marinelli. And I love the line where he says, like, I really like democracy because you can. What is it that he said?
I watched this when the trailer came out, and it's been a while since the trailer came out.
It's true.
10 days ago.
10 days ago. As like I like democracy because I can also it gives me the freedom to get rid of it. Basically, it's very
nice
good.
One.
There was a bit of controversy. I was reading a bit about this because this is based on a book, and the author took some liberty with regards historical accuracy, but I don't think this is about historical accuracy. This is a study of a character. So yeah, there's Joe Wright. If you like Atonement,
I like Atonement.
Yeah, Atonement is amazing. So and he had and also a very interesting movie, Karenina, if I'm not mistaken, Anna Kay.
Yeah, there's a few adaptations of that.
Anna Karenina, yes. He also did Pride and Prejudice, the Pen, and I didn't. Was he also? No, I thought he also directed Swallow, the horror film Swallow. But yeah,
interesting. Man, Atonement. Whenever I talk about Atonement, I always remember that the long war scene
in the beach, right?
Yeah. So good on the beach. Yes, that's so beautiful. But then, of course, Dunkirk came out, so it's like
it's
one-upping Atonement. It's still, I mean, that was what 2004, I think. So, I mean, for that time, beautiful scene. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Coming out on Sky, interestingly.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So, oh God, let's get into it then. Viewers and listeners, as you can notice from the tone, we're now going to start talking about Disney. D23 happened this weekend, and obviously we have to talk about it. And I was thinking of banning the words remake and sequel. from the podcast. But if that were the case, basically we'd talk about 2 or 3.
We'd quit the podcast altogether.
So yeah, can't really do that. But we do have to talk about the D23 Expo, which, as you can tell, is back in style. To be fair, the stage looks stunning from what I saw. But we have to get into the announcement. So starting with trailer number 1. Obviously, we're going to start off with the Disney stuff. We have Moana 2 to talk about. We're going to have to talk about Daredevil, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and lots more. But starting off with Moana 2.
I just to be sure, I don't play the whole trailer.
No.
Yeah.
We'll get blocked, I know. So let's start off with Moana 2. Now, I don't remember much about Moana. I watched it a long time ago. I remember the animation was very colorful. I remember the girl was cute, and I liked her character arc of taking responsibility. I don't remember much else, to be honest. I know that The Rock is in it, right? Obviously his voice. And he's going to be starring in the live-action Moana film, which for me makes absolutely no sense. And because the one attractive thing about Moana is its stunning animation and its color, and making a live-action adaptation of it ruins all that. So, but what do I know? But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say here. Bob Iger obviously came up, the Disney CEO, kicked things off with Moana 2. I mean, listen, Moana, Franco, is on Disney Plus. Moana was the highest viewed film last year, which means people love Moana. People still love Moana, which is saying a lot since obviously Disney had quite a few movies come out this year. The fact that Moana is still the most viewed film on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
Last year.
No, I was going to say, I remember, I think we did react to the trailer, and I said, this looks, even now, just looking at it, this looks like straight to television. I mean, I don't think it will have the same magic.
It was meant to.
And it still looks like it, you know, but...
It was meant to come to Disney Plus, but then obviously I think, listen, this is going to be stupid if we release it on Disney Plus. When the original film made over $1 billion, so...
And still, why is no one following the Apple Plus model of releasing films in cinema and then releasing them online? I don't understand Disney.
I think Disney are fixing that a little bit now. With the sense that there was a time when they were releasing Pixar stuff only on Disney Plus. Luca, for example, and
Elemental was in cinemas and even Inside Out.
What was the one? I can't say that word on podcast. The one about the cat, the girl who turns into a cat. That was really good.
Red, no? Something red.
Turning red. Which was an obvious reference to something.
I guess a womanhood, basically a girl entering womanhood.
Exactly. I thought that was very stupid, releasing those on Disney Plus. But Disney are changing that. Obviously, Moana 2 is coming out in cinemas. The only problem is, it does look, for me and for you, Franco, it does look like a film made for Disney Plus. At least that's the impression we have so far from the visuals. It doesn't wow me like the original Moana did. Just say that. Anything else you want to add about this, Franco?
No, I will try to keep my my mouth shut until the very end.
Next up, apparently we're going to have a Monster Jam film starring, of course, Dwayne Johnson. I mean, listen, is it going to be a live action or an animated film?
Monster Truck Mayhem, apparently. I don't know.
I don't think there's too many details about it. They don't even know if it's a documentary or a special feature film. But I mean, if they can do like a crazy action film, sure, why not?
It depends. And I mean, we know how successful he was to reignite the DC universe.
Changing the what was it? The hierarchy of power at DC. Him and Henry Cavill.
I mean, practically they did, because then James Gunn came.
Black Adam. Womp womp. Okay. I'm so sorry to my friends. I took them to watch Black Adam. I tricked them, and they keep mentioning it to this day. And they're like, I don't trust you. Is this actually good? You took us to watch Black Adam. Oh,
I
God.
mean, even Bruce should not trust you. You took him to watch Borderlands, unless he made the brave difference. Oh, he left.
No, he didn't come for Borderlands. He came for a trap. He's a
Well
wise,
done,
guy.
Bruce.
But who knows? Maybe Bruce would have enjoyed Borderlands.
No, exactly.
So this one I'm excited to talk about. So I saw some, not footage, but some art, basically some concept art for Avatar 3, which is now called Fire and Ash. And I'm really excited for this. I'm very, very, very excited for this because I think what James Cameron has done visually with CGI throughout, obviously, his whole career, him and George Lucas working together on a lot of things. But what James Cameron has been doing, revolutionizing the quality of CGI, like what we got in Avatar 2, just still blows my mind when I see clips of that. And then I see The Little Mermaid, and I compare the two. And visually, I'm like, no, this isn't even the same industry. This is not the same art, right? It's not even comparable. Like, just incredible. And I'm so excited to see what James Cameron can do with fire and what he can do with, because apparently it's going to be two tribes, one focus on fire. They're going to be like this warring fire tribe, which I am incredibly hyped about, as well as this air tribe, which have lots of ships which fly. It's going to be like
So it's basically
so exciting.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, man.
Exactly. I mean, they had earth, they had water, air and fire. That's it.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm so this is like one of those event films where everyone goes to the cinema, even if they don't like films. They still go to the cinema to watch Avatar. And that makes me excited, especially when it's done by Granddaddy James Cameron.
And unfortunately, it's no IMAX here because this should be like an Ad Lib podcast. We go and visit Joe in Scotland, and we go to IMAX and watch it together, like I wanted to do with Long Legs. I think we should do that one time.
We should. That would be really fun, actually. Go to IMAX. Anything you want to add about Avatar?
No, I still have to watch the second one. Finally enough.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Maybe I can get the Blu-ray and you can watch it here. I really want to get the Blu-ray. I don't have a lot of money right now, but I should get it.
All right. Good idea.
I think the Blu-ray would look incredible.
If anyone on chat wants to come, once if you want to come, two of you don't want to come. Maybe instead of Devils we show Avatar.
That's Zoe Saldana, right? Yes, it's Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
Whose acting is actually pretty good in Avatar.
In Avatar is very good,
yeah. Okay, next up, Dream Production. So, I love Inside Out. I think Inside Out 1 is up there amongst my favorite films. Inside Out 2 was also very good. Really enjoyed it. My expectations were very low, but had a really good time with it. This is going to be a series. Now, Inside Out series, do we need it? Not really. But it seems to be targeting, I think it's going to be targeting kids mostly, which is fine, right? I mean, it's actually, it's going to be, here we go. So here's some details. Set in between the events of, this is what disappoints me a bit, between the events of the first two films. Like, continue the story. Well, why not? The new show will be a mockumentary-style adventure that follows the movie studio that creates Riley's dreams. Which, to be fair, I think Pixar can do some creative stuff here with this like movie studio creating dreams. I think there's some potential there to create some creative stuff. And Pixar always, like Pixar, if they've got nothing, they're creative.
But it sounds very The Office-like to us, yeah?
We'll see.
Anyway.
I don't think it's something I'm going to watch as much as I love Inside Out. I think it's mostly be targeting kids. As this show, I think, will also be targeting kids, win or lose. But something fresh, something new. Before Dream Productions hits Disney+, Pixar will be debuting their first ever Disney Plus original series, Win or Lose. The new anthology show will follow the members of a youth baseball team deal with their own array of problems in their own unique ways. And Pixar unveiled the first trailer for the series at the showcase. So we got the trailer for, teaser mostly for Win or Lose. I think visually It looks okay, nothing out of this world. I don't mind the aesthetic they're going for. Clearly targeting a certain younger audience, of course, not my audience, which is fine. I mean, not everything has to be targeting myself. I like the whole baseball element of it all.
This looks like Yella can tell me. This looks like the Gumball guys designed the characters. But because that's like from Gumball, even the eyes, like Gumball. What's it called? Anyway, keep going. Let me check again.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say here. Again, this is not targeting myself as a viewer who quite enjoys most of Pixar's stuff. Yeah, not really targeting myself, but I think for kids, again, it'll be a fine watch. Moving on, again, nothing much to add here. I think me and Bruce had this discussion a couple of days ago. It's called Color Art Style.
Gumball, the California Arts University, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so me and Bruce, here it is. So as stated earlier, this design style, thin line animation, the term color art style is used to more often than not criticize the simpler character designs of many shows over the last 8 years or so. Many fans of Western animation have griped about the simplistic design of these cartoons, which all seem to feature round eyes, noodle arms, bean-shaped heads, and worm-shaped mouths. And as much as I hate to give credit to anyone, I do have a valid point. Okay.
Yella in fact says the rounded features and cute aesthetic, basically.
Yeah. Again, it's not an aesthetic that I personally enjoy. I know who it's targeting, however.
No, for sure.
I know it's targeting. I've become a really big fan, and I think there's one show which has that aesthetic, which was popularized by the Spider-Verse animated shows, and then we had
Arcane, no?
The Arcane show as well, with like this one, like this kind of style, with some more 3D added to it. Puss in Boots, which was one of my favorite animated films of the past few years. There was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated. That was great as well. Yeah, that's, I think, a bit more on where I'm at right now with enjoying animated stuff. But yeah, Toy Story 5, I think Toy Story should have ended with 3. I think 3 had the perfect ending. Then we got 4. Yes, 4 will be the ending, promise. And now we get 5. Again, not much to say. It's going to be, apparently the enemy is going to be technology. Wow, really creative. I feel like we've already had this plot line where they're fighting Buzz Lightyear. I feel like we've seen this in Toy Story numerous times. Again, I don't know. I do feel like Toy Story is, make a Toy Story film and make $1 billion. But yeah, can we move on? Can we move on with this, please? Franco, Toy Story.
No, my comment at the end, because there's this Mufasa, Inside Out, there's Snow White. There's lots to say.
Yeah. So Hoppers. This looks interesting. I think I like the animation style here, more or less. Like I've been saying, I like this aesthetic. Brand new film from Pixar, which is always nice to see. Nice to see surreal. I like surrealism in films. Of a young teen who has their consciousness transported into a beaver, of all things. Not much is known about the plot other than that, but Pete Docter, the chair that Bobby Moynihan, and John Hamm, nice, I like John Hamm, will be a part of the cast. I love Mad Men, so John Hamm, anything John Hamm is in, I will watch. Again, nothing much to say here, but I like the style they're going with here. Elio, okay, Franco hates Elio, but I actually really don't mind this. You had really criticized the trailer, remember? The trailer came like a year and a half ago. Remember the Elio trailer? You don't remember it?
I forgot it at all.
I remember you shitting on Elio so much. It's the kid who goes to space and meets alien leaders.
I'm so... yes. Yes. Okay.
I really don't mind this. I think it's fine. I think it looks fine.
PTSD. No, I'm genuinely not enticed whatsoever. So I like what's happening?
No. You're making me laugh because at least this is something, again, a little new. I think they can do a lot creative visually in space that gives you leeway to do whatever the fuck you want. It's interesting that it was supposed to come out this year. That was supposed to come out spring this year. But it's coming out summer next year. So, Elio.
I think words got around that I was shitting on this. So there's like, oh, let's make Franco happy.
Yeah, I don't mind Elio. A young boy who is mistaken as the leader of Earth. I think that can make for a lot of good humor. Becomes an unwitting ambassador for a massive society of extraterrestrials, and the fate of his world may hang in the balance. Zoe Saldana is also joined the cast as the titular character's aunt. Zoe Saldana is working a lot with Disney. Yeah, again, I don't mind it. Incredibles 3, I haven't watched Incredibles 2, so I can't really comment about it. Have you watched Incredibles 2, Franco?
Snippets here and there, I think on an airplane as well.
I haven't watched 2, I need to watch 2. I loved 1, but I mean, Brad Bird is returning. That's good. Always a good sign, very good sign. And it's in the works, so probably coming out in like 2026, 27, probably. I mean, again, not much to add here. Zootopia. If I had to tell you, Franco, I had no idea that a film called Zootopia existed. I did not know it existed. I had no idea a film called Zootopia.
They made a series out of it as well. So
really? Okay.
Reeks of originality.
No idea a film called Zootopia existed. Anyway, Zootopia 2 is coming out, and I saw some footage. Listen, I checked out the trailer for the first Zootopia. The trailer looks good.
No, it was really good. Zootopia was very successful, and
I will watch it.
And it had a good twist as well.
Yeah, I will watch it. And it looks like, from the trailer, it looks like the animal element of it, animals, instead of humans living in a city, was not just like a gimmick, but an actual important plot points, which I hate when they just change people into animals and it makes literally no difference. It could have been humans. That's one of my big pet peeves with animated films.
Pun not intended. Pet peeves. Sorry.
Frozen. I like Frozen 1. Frozen 2. I don't know if I've watched it or not. But I think Frozen 2 was quite average.
Please skip. I'm just being in Frozen 3. Woo! Wow, okay.
Again, it's, to be fair, Franco, this is not really targeting us. It's targeting a different age category, right? But again, I really liked Frozen. I really liked the original Frozen. I think the animation in the original Frozen was masterful. And the singing was not bad either. I think the songs were fun for what they were. Again, not targeting myself, not targeting my age group, and not targeting...
No, I mean, it's fine, but it's like beating not a dead horse now. The horse has become a skeleton, and it's reeking of maggots. Jesus, it's... let me bite my tongue and hold it a bit more.
But like I told Bruce, he messaged me about this, it's going to make $1 billion. Frozen the musical, Hercules the musical. Man, I love Hercules so much. I love this film. Hercules. I just love Hercules so much.
I love the history of how many bisexual people, or some people, realized that they were lesbian because of what's his love interest name? Hera, was it Hera? No.
And the three. What's the name of the Greek inspirations? Oh, Madonna.
The mythology, no?
The three women who sing the songs and narrate the story.
The Fates, no?
The Fates, the three Fates.
Megara. Her name was Megara.
So good. So I love. And I had the video game as well, the Hercules video game.
Ooh la la, with the Minotaur. The Minotaur.
La la, so fun.
So I used to go. I didn't have a PlayStation, so I used to go either to my friend to play Tekken, or to this place where they usually had or an Exotique, where they usually had, you could try the game before you buy.
Yeah.
And they had the PlayStation there. Just my mother went on shopping, and I'm like, they're playing. I was like, okay, we have to go. No.
No, I love Hercules. I love everything.
That's right. Yeah, Megala.
As much again. That's right. By the way, again, completely ruins Greek mythology, but I mean, it's so fun. It's so fun. Greatest Showman. Yeah, great film. They're making a musical. Okay, so Star Wars. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. This is, Goonies in space, right? Which sounds interesting. Watching it, I do like what they're going for. It's quite obvious what they're going for, right? Even with the 80s aesthetic that they're going with, very 80s aesthetic. They're kind of like, what if Steven Spielberg made a Star Wars series but completely forgot how to light his sets?
The suburbs, Madonna.
I mean, again, I'm gonna repeat it. This is if Spielberg made Star Wars but completely forgot how to light his sets.
Super 8 in space.
Again, it's not targeting myself. It's targeting a different age demographic, which is fine. I'll watch it because I watch everything Star Wars. I think it's going to be fun. Again, the director is John Watts, the director of the 3 Spider-Man films, which again were fine, visually very bland and boring, but the films were fine. I enjoyed them for what they were. And I think, again, visually, I don't know about you, Franco, but this does not look too impressive. Again, we harp on a lot about lighting and contrast.
It's for television, it seems like. I mean,
very brown. Nothing like screams, wow, this is really colorful. And it's for kids. Make it colorful, man. Why? I don't get it. Like, watch Stranger Things. Why can't they watch Stranger Things and look at the lighting and the atmosphere in Stranger Things and copy that? I don't get it. Because, okay, and again, if you're inspired by Goonies, I forgot Goonies. I haven't watched Goonies since I was 10 years old. So
Goonies is so good.
And again, watch Goonies and use that as an inspiration. Do you need your show to be like over in this scene, for example? Can't the lighting be more, impactful? I don't get it. Again, I don't get it. Why does it have to look this bland visually? I've seen a lot of controversy, Franco, about the whole 80s aesthetic and the whole suburbs of it all. I don't mind it. I mean, yes, it's Star Wars. It's a little weird to be in the suburbs, but again, it's a reference, obviously, to the 80s, right? And to the Spielberg sci-fis and whatnot. I don't know what you think about this, Franco. What do you think?
Do we have more before I explode?
Yes. There's a few more things.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This is something I can get behind.
Unfortunately, we don't really have much to say because it's just I saw the presentation. I saw Diego Luna presenting the season 2. Again, we know that there's going to be Ben Mendelsohn as director Krennic, Alan Tudyk returning, love it, K2SO, and Diego Luna kind of spoke a little bit about how they're going to be linking it with Rogue One, how there's going to be more thrilling moments, and I honestly nothing much to say about it. We're just excited for Andor season 2.
Good. Yeah. I'm happy. That's it. There's no need to, and the fact that it has been gestating for a while, great. Make a good story. Don't just
exactly.
milk it.
Exactly.
Most probably, and I don't know if Joe will agree with me. This will also go under the radar because Disney are not interested in pushing this kind of quality to.
I think they will. I think they will push season 2 of Andor. I think they will definitely push season 2.
I'm very cynical, but inshallah, basically.
But why? Why wouldn't they push season 2? They know how successful season 1 was and how well it did with people. It would be crazy not to.
I know, but
advertise it.
You're right. No, you're right, Andrea. If you were in Bob Iger's shoes and you made a decision, excellent. But you saw what they did, and most of the focus was on Skeleton Crew.
Yes, that's true. But again, they didn't really have much to show for season 2 of Andor. Skeleton Crew, they had a whole trailer, so that's probably the reason why. And Skeleton Crew is coming out on December 3rd. So
anyway.
Yeah, they just spoke a little bit about Mandalorian and Grogu film, which is coming out in like 2020.
movie, huh?
So yeah, they're making a movie. I think it's a little late to make a Mandalorian Grogu movie. I think post season 3 of Mandalorian, the hype has really, I remember when Mandalorian season 1 came out, the hype was crazy. Season 2, again, the fact that season 2 came so close to season 1, and season 1 was amazing. Like, objectively, Mandalorian season 1 was a very, very good show. Season 2, I really enjoyed as well. There were some episodes where there was a bit of a drop-off in quality, but overall, they kept it. Season 3, unfortunately, was what it was. Lost its focus. It became more focused on like the lore and the Star Wars lore rather than focusing on the relationship between Grogu and Mando, which was what made season 1 so good in the first place. Sizzle reel showing off Mando fighting off snowtroopers. Return of Star Wars Rebels fan favorite Zeb. Oh, great! I really like Zeb. Mando and Grogu riding an AT-RT on a snowy planet. Yeah, sure. I like snowy planets, so nothing much to say here. But yeah, I think it's too late for a Mandalorian and Grogu film, to be perfectly honest.
It would have been great after the second season, but after the dip in season 3.
And after that, and after the Book of Boba Fett, which was an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. So that's Star Wars. Captain America Brave New World. Again, we're not going to add anything here. We've been talking about this for ages, so not much to say. Love these guys. Great cast. Really excited for Fantastic Four. Great to see them hanging out. I think this is one of the films I'm so looking forward to. I'm as cynical as they come, but when I see these 4 actors, I mean, I can't be cynical about it.
It looks promising. And they also showed some concept art about Galacticus, if I'm not mistaken. The Planet Eater being lore accurate.
Yeah, so shared footage that was originally at SDCC. Video, Vanessa Kirby, Thomas Barash, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn on set. Though they only recently began shooting, we were told that the aforementioned video had to be edited down. They already gotten so close and familiar that they couldn't stop making each other laugh. That's nice to see. I think from the photos I've seen on set as well, it seems like they're getting on really well, especially Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby. There's like incredible chemistry between the two guys.
Yeah, it looks like
something's going on there. Well, like,
something's going on.
Attractive people spending days together. They look great. They look great. Now, Franco.
Ryan Coogler. Okay.
Franco, not even this podcast can make me watch the next show. Ironheart, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about Ironheart. I'm sorry. I really don't. I really, unlike many people, I really enjoyed Black Panther 2. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a real high point for Marvel. I thought they made such a heartwarming film. Again, directed by Ryan Coogler, who I really like. I think Ryan Coogler is a fantastic director. So good with creating emotional films which look visually stunning. Like Creed. Such a good film, man. Such a good film, the original Creed. Beautifully directed. He's a great director. He's producing this. He's not directing it, as far as I know. But I really want to get behind this, but I don't get what they're going for here. Dominic Thorne, Anthony Ramos, Lyric Ross, Regan Alaya, Alden Ehrenreich. Oh, I really like Alden Ehrenreich. He was in that Netflix film, Franco, remember? I think you had watched it as well.
Which one?
The couple who work together and then end up competing.
That's quite a good movie. No, not Sanctuary.
Forgot about it, the name. But that was a very good Netflix film. I really enjoyed that one. And Alden Ehrenreich was very good in that. Anyways, we start off seeing Riri fly around in her new suit.
So, the movie was called Fair Play.
Fair Play, yes. That is a very good film. Highly recommended. Viewers and listeners, if you haven't watched Fair Play, check it out. Yeah. It's on Netflix. Very good. Very good film. But I feel like Ironheart was the one weak spot for Black Panther 2. I really didn't get why they forced that storyline in. I don't want to watch this. I'm sorry. I'm going to skip this and move on. Oh yes, finally something good. So today, Franco, this morning, I was watching a series of videos. Good action scenes versus bad action scenes. Very fun series of videos on YouTube. And obviously, good action scenes have to include the Daredevil hallway scenes, which are so good. And my personal favorite Daredevil scene is in season 3, that prison escape. The prison escape scene, the riot and escape from prison in season 3 was, for me, peak Marvel. That is peak Marvel for me.
If I'm not mistaken, Eric Linden worked on this as well, huh?
Yes, he did. He did a lot of the stunts for both Daredevil and the Punisher. He did the stunts for both. He worked on the Punisher show as well as obviously John Bernthal's stunt double, and also he was the stunt coordinator as well. He worked on the Daredevil stunts as well. So whenever Eric Linden is working on something, the stunts are going to look great. And the action, let's be honest, even the fact that, for example, I love how one of the videos focused on, when you're watching the Daredevil action scenes, you notice how Daredevil gets tired. He's not a machine. He's not a perfect fighting machine. He gets tired, and you notice his punches start to get softer than at the start of the action sequence, which is something so basic. You would think everyone would do that, but we rarely see in action scenes today.
True.
Have you watched the Daredevil series?
I've seen the clips of the action sequences that you mentioned, and basically it was again friends of the show, Corridor Crew now, and I've saw the breakdowns and the takeaways. The action looked so good and crunchy, and Echo, in fact, doesn't shine a light to.
Okay, so Echo, one of the videos Franco focused on why does the action in Echo feel much worse than the action in Daredevil, and I hate to say it, but one of the main reasons is because the actress of Echo is just not as good as, obviously Daredevil his face is covered with a mask. So most of the time, sometimes it is Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox actually does some of the stunts, but mostly it's stunt actors like Eric Linden doing that action.
Yeah.
Obviously, Echo doesn't cover her face. So most of the time, unless you have some smart editing here and there, those scenes are done by the actress. And unfortunately, the reality is the actress is just not as good as many of these stunt actors when doing the action. Secondly, the way it's shot, the video focused a lot on so many hidden cuts. And maybe you don't notice, but your brain notices. And you notice that it's not a real one take. In the Daredevil action scenes, there are multiple hidden cuts. No one thinks that the Daredevil action scene is one whole take. It's obvious it's not one whole take. But the direction in that was so much better. The punches and the stunts feel so much more impactful.
Grounded.
But in Echo, actually, everything feels really slow because everything has to be slowed down for the actress, unfortunately. And this is no hate on the actress, nothing at all. But it's just a reality of facts. That if you've got two stunt coordinators, stunt actors fighting against each other, this is their job. This is what they specialize on. They're perfect at that. So there was that. Plus, I love how he added, don't bring guns into these kinds of action scenes. That is like a big point that this guy was constantly making. And the Echo, obviously, she brings a gun into the thing. So he's like, when the gun came up, and as I always say, don't bring guns. But yes, Daredevil, I watched some of the bootleg shots of the footage they showed of Daredevil. Tonally looks exactly like what they did in the original Daredevil Netflix show. I hope they still stick to the lighting they use. Again, that's another really well lit show. Franco, the Daredevil show. Oh, the red neon lighting in the action scenes is so good.
This one and Jessica Jones, I think, right? As well.
Yes. Fantastic visually, Jessica Jones. Fantastic visually and performances. So good, so good. I'm looking forward to seeing Vincent D'Onofrio, as always, one of my personal favorite actors. Charlie Cox, I love the whole cast for Daredevil. I think the chemistry they built between themselves is so good, and the hatred, just watch the hatred that Charlie Cox shows for Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. It's real hatred. It's so impactful when you get the final showdown between Kingpin and Charlie Cox. You just the rage shown by Daredevil is mind-blowing. Just so good. I could talk about Daredevil for ages. I won't, because we have to move on. But yeah, great stuff. Really good stuff. I'm excited for this. Please, 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 please. Disney, if you ruin Daredevil, I'm going to freak the fuck out. Thankfully, they've gone away from the light, cheerful, happy Daredevil. Daredevil is not light. Daredevil is not happy. Daredevil is depressing. Daredevil is bloody. Daredevil is rated R. Please keep the tone of the Marvel show. That was very good. And John Bernthal. Fuck yes. I love John Bernthal. Agatha all along, we've spoke a lot about this, Franco, so not much to add here. I like this. We were talking about Technicolor. Wizard of Oz, they said some homages to Wizard of Oz, which I'm soon going to rewatch, by the way, because I'm soon reaching Wizard of Oz. That's 1939, right?
Yeah.
That's 39. I'm 37 right now, 1937. So yeah, I'm watching The Grand Illusion, by the way, Franco. 37.
Jean Renoir. Oh.
I have the last like 20 minutes to watch. It's so good. Excellent.
Jean Renoir. Oh.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Very good film so far. Starring Catherine Hahn, who I really like. Aubrey Plaza, one of my personal favorites as well. So yeah, a lot of people are really cynical and negative about it. I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to be a fun watch. And there's one scene that really caught my attention. I'm like, okay, this scene. I'm like, okay, maybe they're slightly going for it.
Please go for horror. Please go for horror.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? We can hope. And again, Catherine Hahn, excellent actress. Aubrey Plaza, excellent actress. Yeah. Okay, Percy Jackson and the Olympian season 2. I didn't know this existed, but I really quite liked season 1 of Percy Jackson. I thought, again, maybe visually it wasn't the greatest show, but our main actor, Walker Scobell, was great, really good as Percy Jackson. I think the many different Greek mythology references were fantastically done. This is Mars. I enjoyed it as a show. Again, obviously not targeting my age demographic, but I like Percy Jackson. I like everything it stands for. And if it brings more attention to Greek mythology, all well and good. What the hell?
No, it's fine. You can skip.
I have no idea what this is. David Blaine. Freaky Friday. Okay. Do you like Freaky Friday, Franco?
I mean, as a kid, yes. But now.
I'm a big Lindsay Lohan stan. So, but then there's Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, God. So yeah. I mean, well, it's fine. I'll watch it. I enjoyed Freaky Friday when I watched it when I was 10.
Look, I
don't know how it is now.
There was already a Freaky Friday 2, which was a movie done by Happy Death Day director. Let me find it.
I have
quickly.
No idea that exists.
No, please do watch Happy Death Day. It's not a groundbreaking horror by any means necessary, but the same director did one called Freaky, where basically the souls of a teenager and the serial killer are exchanged.
Okay.
So that's the concept we've seen already. So there you go.
Okay. So yeah, nothing to talk about here. Just obviously a return for the 2 stars of Freaky Friday. I think this will bring a lot of people to the cinemas. Probably I will go watch it as well with Christian in the cinema. So yeah, I'm fine with this. It's fun. It's fun. We can have some fun here and there. Lilo and live action. What the fuck? Why would they make a live action Lilo and Stitch? Like the whole point is it's animated, creative animation. Like why would you make? Oh God, Jesus fucking Christ! Jesus. Okay. Oh boy. Now we're going live action. Okay, so I hate dogpiling. Frank, I mentioned this last week. I don't know if you watched last week's podcast, but I was I really hate dogpiling on films. And this stars one of my personal, favorite actors right now, Rachel Ziegler. I think is a really good singer and,
she was
and
good.
a fine actress.
She was good in the what's it called? The
Hunger Games. Hunger Games. Yes, really good. By the way, I love all the photos between Rachel Ziegler and Wonder Woman
Gal Gadot.
And Gal Gadot, and how Rachel Ziegler seems to be hating every moment she's spending with Gal Gadot.
What a terrible day to have life.
I love it.
I think this should be, if there's another bad movie coming out, that should be our next title. That's a really great line. Done.
Yeah.
Ostia.
Okay. No, I hate dogpiling. I hate hating on films. But there's some stuff here that I cannot not mention. First of all, why is it so brown? Why does it look so dull? Why is there not an ounce of creativity in any of the scenes we see?
Or magic or
feeling of magic? Like, have these guys watched the fucking film made in 1930 what? 1938? What was it? 36?
I think they're going down the route of Pinocchio, basically.
Like, when was the original Snow White made? 1937. Like, have they watched Snow White? Have they seen what makes Snow White so special? Do they know that the beautiful thing about this is how, again,
Colorful.
1937, how colorful, how atmospheric it is. Look at this, how atmospheric this is. Look at this, how atmospheric this is. And this is 1937, before World War II started. Look at how colorful and how creative even the shots. How creative they are.
There's no magic, and don't tell me now. Peter Dinklage was on the money when he said, like, why didn't you cast, if you were going for CGI dwarfs, why the fuck didn't you cast dwarfs then? It's not that there's excuse. I mean, I'm not being ableist here, but for fuck's sake, there are actors who unfortunately suffer from dwarfism.
Yeah.
So why did you go for CGI?
And give them opportunities, right? Because obviously,
exactly.
How many opportunities they have? This is the perfect film for them. The whole idea of going for fucking CGI dwarves, I'm sorry, but they look fake as fuck. They look fake.
No, it's Peter Dinklage was on the money on this. I mean, he's a good actor. He could have been one of them anyway.
I don't know why they can't. Why have we completely forgotten about hand-drawn animation? Like, why has this beautiful art completely been forgotten, minus Studio Ghibli and some other, Eastern animation studios? Why has it been completely forgotten? Like, look at this. This is 1937, Franco. I cannot emphasize that enough.
It is.
How beautiful it is.
It holds. It holds. Even Pinocchio holds.
How timeless this looks. How beautiful it's all.
One of the they used a perspective like I think they did. The Corridor Crew did comment about this because they had this scene where basically the camera moves into the forest. I think it was one of the first animated features that did this, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. This or maybe another one.
And then we see this. I mean, so dull. So I can't even see this scene. It's so dark.
Please show the tweet that I linked you on the chat, please. It
So the tweet you linked me in the chat.
Not this chat, in the Facebook chat.
Oh, Facebook. 1 second. I don't have Facebook open, but I'm sorry, but whoever came up with the idea of a live action Snow White, and again, I'm sorry, I have to mention this. It's not going to sound good, but I don't like the casting either for this film. I'm sorry. I love Rachel Ziegler. I hate Gal Gadot. I hate Gal Gadot. I don't like Gal Gadot at all. I think she's a really bad actress.
Like people said, was Angelina Jolie busy? I sent you the tweet in the chat.
Well, I didn't receive it, Franco.
On this chat, on
Facebook. Yeah, Boomcaster. Okay. Opening it up now. 1 second. Here we go. So, a character that tries to kill a child and steal her kingdom. How fitting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is the...
The idea of it all. Gadot was an idea of such.
Yeah. And a very staunch Zionist. So there's that as well. Which is again the reason why I was saying how Rachel Ziegler seemed to be hating every second she was spending with Gal Gadot, clearly. But yes, I think this was a big mistake. I think this is going to be a massive fail for Disney. I feel bad for Rachel Ziegler because I think she's a great actress and a fantastic singer. I wish she could work in real films, however. I wish she could work with real filmmakers like Steven Spielberg, for example.
Yep.
But, I mean, it is what it is. It's Disney, right? I think it doesn't look good, though. Next up, have you watched the modern adaptation of Tron, Franco?
The Tron Legacy?
Yeah.
Wait, that's Tron Legacy, right? Yeah, I mean, it was good. Plus, it was the Daft Punk of it all that put me in. And now there's 9 Inch Nails, which is like,
yes,
okay.
9 Inch Nails. Interesting how they're not going with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They're going with the 9 Inch Nails.
I mean,
but in most recent films, like in Challengers, for example, it wasn't 9 Inch Nails. But
no, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. But I think they're going more industrial in this one. I mean,
I would imagine, right, with the whole tone of Tron.
Yeah,
interesting.
Even the director is an interesting choice, if I'm not mistaken. There's Jared Leto. I mean, okay.
I mean, again, another guy I'm not really the biggest fan of. But
not at all.
Fuck it, right?
We'll see. Joachim. He's the same guy. He did Kon-Tiki, which was filmed in Malta, and Young Woman and the Sea, which was it did quite good. They said with Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, I watched it. It was fine. It was okay. Nothing great.
Okay.
Nothing great. I watched it online. It was fine. It was a fine watch. Nothing special. Okay, Franco. I think this is it, right? Mufasa. Yeah, this is the last one. So we also got the trailer for Mufasa. Last but not least, Disney closed out the showcase with Mufasa the Lion King. We're treated to an extended look at one of the brand new songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The new prequel flips the script on what we thought we knew about the titular Lion King, showcasing how 2 lion cubs went from strangers to brothers to enemies. Okay. So, Franco, you watch the trailer for Mufasa? Now's your time. Go for it.
No, it's not just this. It's all of the sequels and the prequels and the series and the lack of originality of stories. There's so many stories you can say. So many stories in the world that you can say. And you go for Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5, Jihil Madonni, Harjet. And what was it? Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5, Inside Out, there's the Dream Productions, Mufasa the Lion King, which is, again, this doesn't look visually... Frozen 3. I mean, okay, it's all for the kids. It's also the fact that you have Barry Jenkins and Ryan Coogler. Okay, Ryan Coogler is executive producing, but are you really like holding these directors hostage to your
I read a comment. I'm excited for Barry Jenkins' project after Mufasa the Lion King.
No, because again, if it is like you said, if it is like one for them and like two for them, one for me. But Ryan Coogler is he had what was it? The Black Panther, both Black Panthers. Then there's this one, the Ironheart as well.
Creed.
No, Creed, but Creed is a different one because at least Creed has an emotional backstory.
Yes. And Ryan Coogler, I haven't watched it. He had another film. He had a really small budget film.
Fruitvale Station.
Which has been on my watch list for ages. Fruitvale Station, that's the one, which I've been meaning to watch for a really long time. And I think, again, if we're going to talk about Ryan Coogler, we have to mention Black Panther. I think the first Black Panther was a very good film. Again, hate Marvel as much as you want. I think up to the clusterfuck of an action sequence at the end, I think overall Black Panther,
Black Panther
was a good film.
Black Panther had a really good point to make, but then obviously since it was a superhero movie, the hero had to come over. So,
and again, to be fair, Black Panther had, I think, one of, if not, I mean, obviously then we had the whole, but I think had one of definitely the best antagonists of any Marvel film. Because Killmonger was one of the few antagonists in superhero films who made me emotional, who made me empathize with what he was doing, right?
And to be honest, everything after they tried to reach the peak of Killmonger, even with Kang, I feel like as well, but they cannot, they won't reach that height.
Also because, I mean, Michael B. Jordan is a fucking brilliant actor.
That's one thing as well. And I'm sorry, but Frozen the musical, the musical, it's such a monopolization of blend visual and blend storytelling. Even with Snow White, we saw it Snow White. Like Christ, guys, I don't know what it is. Is it because the rights are soon going to expire with Snow White?
Probably.
It's genuinely disheartening seeing other filmmakers trying to make something original. And like when I see some streaming, loads of movies and okay, not exactly high quality movies, but some. Like if you remember, I had mentioned a movie called Parallels. If it had more budget and a bit more control over it, it would have been a great film. Sci-fi, and you see like where basically the characters are seeing themselves in a different situation in a parallel universe. It's great. And then and again, it's like it's not like we're lacking original stories, but so far Disney been doing is killing originality. Because even Amazon, look at Amazon. At least even with the Caped Crusader, I watched some episodes. I was enjoying it a lot. It's really matured the characters as well. It's much more young adult Batman rather than the Batman. I think even the original series as well. Like if you were young.
Yes. I loved it when I was young. I watched it when I was young, Franco, the original animated series. I watched all of it basically.
Yeah, but
and I've been rewatching some episodes here and there because they're on Netflix. I love the originals, the Batman original animated series, and I had a very good time watching this as well. The tone felt a little different because since they went for a more film noir kind of tone, that feels fresh for what we're getting right again.
They had like I told you, they also had like some connotations as well. Like I told you, I said do the Penguins kids reflect Donald Trump's children, by the way, because one of them looked like Eric Trump and the others was like Donald Jr. as well. And there's also like the reference to Clayface was Boris Karloff. No questions asked. Even the names like Boris something. That he was Boris. It was Boris Karloff. And what else?
Boris Karloff was he the guy who did not the Invisible Man, the Tin Man?
Dracula. He did Dracula.
Dracula. Because I've watched Dracula with him. I watched something else with Boris Karloff. He did Frankenstein. I watched The Mummy. I didn't review The Mummy. The Mummy was okay. Bride of Frankenstein, of course, I watched as well. Very good. I have to review.
These
Bride
are
of
Hammer.
Frankenstein. These are
Hammer Productions or
ده مش the Universal films out, the Universal horror.
okay,
films.
yeah.
He was in Bride of Frankenstein, obviously Frankenstein. I watched The Mummy as well with Boris Karloff. House of Frankenstein, I haven't watched. What else did he do? Oh, The Black Cat, I have to watch. I haven't watched The Black Cat. I skipped The Black Cat.
Okay. But yeah, even Amazon, except for Rings of Power, they have lots of original, like The Boys, Invincible, even movies as well, and other series.
But I think, Franco, we harp on them a lot. Apple, right? They're the best right now when it comes to...
No, as far like Severance.
So fresh sci-fi, fresh.
Disclaimer: Dark Matter. Was it Dark Matter?
Dark Matter, yeah.
Dark Matter. They gave the author of the book like complete creative freedom to explore more of his characters. Why is Silo, which I think there's a season 2. Season 2 out, right?
Mm-hmm. It's coming out. I don't know if it's out yet. Masters of the Air, for example. I love the thing I love about Apple is they have so many different genres. I mean, if you look at the big stuff they've released recently, they had Dark Matter, which is sci-fi, Masters of the Air, which is like a historical war film, The Big Cigar, which is like a period piece film, Lessons in Chemistry, again another fresh story,
now,
Manhunt, historical drama.
There's Presumed Innocent as well. Now
Presumed Innocent, yeah. The New Look apparently was a good. That's the. Which one was the New Look? Anyways, so For All Mankind, sci-fi. Constellation, sci-fi. Silo, which is a nice mixture of sci-fi and post-apocalyptic. Severance, great sci-fi, but more grounded, realistic sci-fi. Such a great mixture.
Slow Horses,
which apparently is very good as well. I watched season 1 only. Such a great mixture. And watching this and going through all the announcements, Franco, it just feels so bland. Like if I had to go through this whole list and say, all right, I'm excited for this. Maybe I'm excited for Tron. Maybe I'm excited for Tron Ares because I know visually that will look good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm excited more for the memes than anything for Freaky Friday 2. I mean, I am a bit excited for Percy Jackson season 2 because season 1 was decent. Okay for Agatha all along. I think that'll be fine. Daredevil, obviously excited but very worried as well at the same time.
There was Hijack as well.
Yeah, I mean, Fantastic Four, it's more the cast than anything else because it's a great cast. Andor season 2 because it's Andor season 2. I mean, there's some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. But most of the stuff isn't stuff that where I'm like, man, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm so excited for this.
I wanted to ask Ashley actually about Ironheart, how he feels about Ironheart as well. No, but it's basically it's going down the Marvel route. Okay, lots of nostalgia, blah blah blah. Yes, and it's not Longlegs because Longlegs, to be fair, Longlegs, as silly as it was, I really enjoyed by the original vision that it had, and at least it tried to do something even visually. Some certain storytelling elements notwithstanding, but.
I'm going to say the same thing about Trap now, because again, Trap is me and Bruce when we went in, we're like, whew, something fresh, something new, right? And although obviously concert movies have been done before, serial killer films where everyone's searching for serial killer films, we've seen dime a dozen. But I think M. Night Shyamalan does enough visually, creative visually, and we have a central performance which is very good, excellent. Some of the best I've seen this year. And the whole concept feels, very contemporary as well with the whole Taylor Swift of it all, right? So it's a fresh new take. Now, nepotism, whatever. I mean, nepotism has existed since the fucking 1920s, 1910s. So, I mean, it's always been the case. A lot of people have been complaining about nepotism with Night Shyamalan and his daughter, right? This is his film. He chooses, right?
But there's also the fact that even after it's this rant got even bigger inside me when I saw the films. Michael, Michael Powell did Peeping Tom, and I really look forward for you to see it. I don't know if you've ever seen it, this movie, Peeping Tom.
Nope.
It's the first movie that uses the camera as the perspective of the killer.
Okay.
And in fact, it ruined his career. It was so shocking at the time. It ruined his career. But it's a really great movie about the psychology, not just about the murder, but also about filmmaking, because one of the weapon that the serial killer uses involves a film camera. So,
nice.
Where is
Creativity, right? That's what we're crying for. Creativity.
No, look, the artist involved. I mean, to do that shit. Don't tell me to do like the Lion King and the animation. That's great, but come on, man. I mean, let them do something. I would just pick an artist out of these people who's working in Toy Story 5 and see their personal projects. There would be a. So what do you say?
D23 encapsulates just how creatively bankrupt Disney is. Billions in the bank, zero new ideas.
No, that's
We're just talking about that now. That's the conclusion, right?
Yeah, Bruce, that is the TLDR. We couldn't have said it better. I'm not. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're going into the reviews now?
Yes, viewers and listeners in the chat, if you're enjoying this discussion, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe if you've not done so already. I'm going to get into the reviews. Hello to all the 12 viewers we have right now. We have a very high viewership today, Franco. Nice to see.
Goodbye to the 12 viewers. W's in chat. I leave you in the capable hands of Andrea. Thank you, Andrea, for having me. Hopefully, I'll catch you up with the rest of the movies that you've been watching.
Yes, I'll be doing that post Santa Maria because next week this week I'll be relaxing. Probably Franco next week. I don't think we'll actually have a podcast.
Oh yeah, plus I mean we're gonna have a live quickie,
event. So
a live quickie.
We'll probably skip next week.
No, I'm gonna get my laptop and we should try and do it. By the way, We'll try. Tom.
See you, everyone. See you, Franco. I still have the review.
See you, and see you on anyone who's interested. Bruce organized this event, 21st of August at the pub. We're going to show The Devils.
Definitely.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao, Franco. So let's get into, first of all, I'm going to start off with the review for Trap. I went to watch this with Bruce. So here we go. Trap. So I was really excited for Trap. I was telling Bruce, in fact, before the film, I'm super hyped. I feel ashamed to say I've missed quite a few of the latest M. Night Shyamalan films. I'll have to address that very soon. I will try to check out some of his more recent films. But when I watched the trailer for Trap, obviously we react to trailers on this podcast quite a lot. When I reacted to the Trap trailer, I was really hyped and entranced by it, like the visuals, the cinematography, and Josh Hartnett just is so good. And I'm so happy to say I was so right on all those elements: the visuals, the cinematography, and Josh Hartnett. Excellent. Directed and produced, of course, by M. Night Shyamalan. Trap, long story short, follows a serial killer who attempts to avoid the police at a pop concert, which he goes to with his daughter. Now, we've been harping on this basically for the past half hour, so sorry to continue on this. But again, when I go to the cinema to watch something that is different, something a little unique, right, I get extra hyped. Something that's not a remake, something that's not part of a cinematic universe. And I feel like Trap is definitely a more unique twist to follow the serial killer thriller style of film. It takes inspiration, like I've mentioned, from the whole Taylor Swift craze, with Shyamalan here, I think, creating a very, very interesting thriller. It looks great. As I left the cinema, this is what I told Bruce. This film hung on the shoulders of one person, Josh Hartnett. And thankfully, Hartnett is more than up for the task. He's committed, he swings hard, and it's a successful swing. I'm so happy to say that. I love the dad moments in this film. I love those scenes where you really empathize with this psycho serial killer. But then we go from loving dad moment to horrific, chilling moment. And Hartnett's face just does so much heavy lifting in this film. There's a lot of dark humor here. The tone is great, and Hartnett completely embraces that tone. Supporting actors, on the other hand, are a bit of a mixed bag. Ariel Donahue, who is his daughter, I think did a very good job. Saleika, who is obviously M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, her concert scenes and her singing were fine. I think she had a decent stage presence here. But anything that comes after the singing scenes, not so much. I wasn't the biggest fan. I was really surprised. I didn't recognize her, but the doctor in charge was Hayley Mills, the legendary Hayley Mills. So nice to see her. I think overall everyone else was fine. The wife was fine. I think overall it was decent with regard to the supporting act. Now, visually, I mentioned visually it looks really good and it's stunning. Shot on 35 millimeter. I think the concert scenes were beautifully shot. Bruce mentioned that the Shyamalan's blocking, as always, is great. He's a fantastic visual director. He knows what he's doing with these kinds of elements. Some very remarkable scenes, like there was one scene in particular where we see Hartnett, for example, looking backstage, looking behind the stage, looking backstage, and observing what's going on and the movement of the camera and the blocking of that scene and just the framing of it all was fantastically done. Obviously, cinematography DOP, Mukti Prom was responsible for the cinematography of this film. He's a great DOP, works with Luca Guadagnino, Call Me By Your Name, Challengers and whatnot, all great looking films. I also want to praise the close-ups. There are a number of very good close-ups in this film, which focus entirely on Hartnett's face. And there's one particular scene where we have a cut to Hartnett's face, and we have this vibrant red lighting on his face, which you can also see in the poster. Beautifully done. And I also have to mention, I think the editing in this film is very, very good. I think Shyamalan has always been well known for his tense films, and the editing process of his films is obviously always essential. And the tone, I mentioned it already, dark humor is great. I laughed a lot in this film. Now, moving on to one of maybe the more mixed bags, which is the screenplay. It's not all positives here. There are numerous leaps of logic throughout. The film is not the smartest film, right? So there were moments where I was like, yeah, obviously that never happened in real life. However, I do have to mention that I think overall Trap is such an entertaining film that if you go in ready to close one eye to some leaps of logic, ignore some pretty egregious plot holes, which, I mean, cannot be explained unless the fact that, Hartnett is the only character with eyes or with a functioning brain. It's a really enjoyable watch, right? So please, if you go to watch Trap, make sure to shut off your brain, go in, enjoy the visuals, enjoy the performance, and you're going to have a good time. I enjoyed Trap for what it is. My rating for Trap was a 3.5 out of 5. Very enjoyable thriller with, unfortunately, I don't think it can really be helped, a plot that just feels, a screenplay that just feels a little too dumb at times. Even some of the dialogue sometimes feels a little off. But it's M. Night Shyamalan. It's to be expected. 3.5 out of me for Trap. And I hope viewers and listeners, 10 viewers and listeners we have right now watching the podcast, let me know in the comment section below if you have watched Trapped. And if you have not watched Trapped, are you interested at all in checking it out? Second and last review of the day, I had the unfortunate experience of going to check out the Borderlands film, the Borderlands movie. And as I was leaving the cinema, I'm sad to say that there were quite a few people saying, oh, that was okay. That wasn't as bad as I expected. That was a fun romp, right? Now, I'm going to come out right out and say it, no offense, but if you think Borderlands was a fun romp, please don't talk to me about films ever again. I cannot trust anything you say about films. Now, Borderlands has been in the works for like 10 years, and it does feel like a film that is 10 years too late. Originally from a screenplay by Craig Mazin, who wisely took his name off this film, directed by the rather inconsistent Eli Roth. Borderlands obviously follows our protagonist Lilith, who is a bounty hunter, tasked by Atlas to rescue Tina, who we can see at the center here. So we see Cate Blanchett set off for her homeland Pandora, where she meets the incredibly annoying Claptrap. And I don't know how people think about this, but honestly, I've found Claptrap annoying in the video games as well, let alone in this film where he's voiced by Jack Black. And Claptrap pretty much serves as a deus ex machina throughout most of this film, whenever not delivering some of the cringiest dialogue I have personally ever heard in my life. And, let's start off with that, right, with the screenplay. Some of the dialogue that these poor actors had to say in this film, had to deliver in this film, were ridiculously awful. Like, was there no moment, and this is what I wrote in my review, was there no moment where Cate Blanchett turned towards Eli Roth and was like, I'm sorry, I'm not saying this line. I can't say this line. No way. Zero backstory for Roland, zero backstory for Tiny Tina, negative backstory for Krieg. This is one of the worst portrayals of any video game character in Krieg. Horrific. Nothing at all. We are given nothing about these characters. No time dedicated to learning anything about them. No time given to experiencing them, developing relationships between each other. I don't even know how they ended up together in the first place. There's an action scene. Okay, now we're friends. Cate Blanchett goes there. They're throwing bombs at each other. Okay, now we're friends. No build up to them developing relationships. Okay, now we're best buddies. That's it. Go. Okay, we're fine. Like nothing. This screenplay for this film is just shocking. A shocking experience to see on screen. And that leads me to the editing. I think the way this film was edited does not do it. Again, the film visually, and I'm going to talk about visually later on, is not great. But the editing for this is awful. I think the action and the tension are poorly constructed throughout. The film just plods on. It's 1 hour, 42 minutes, and it feels so slow for a video game adaptation of Borderlands, which is one of the most action-packed video games out there. The film just plods on horribly with action scenes, some action scenes littered here and there in between one exposition dump after another. The plot develops so poorly. It's like we're moving from one quest to another, one bland and boring set piece to another. Horribly done. Horribly done. Does the action save it? No, I'm sorry. No, it does not. At this point, we're past the point where people can, shoot at each other, and that's fine for a film. For me, at least, that doesn't make this film a fun romp. Coming from films like Furiosa, where, we see punchy action, stunning visuals, real action. Yes, there's a lot of CGI. But some of the crashes we see in this film, compare and contrast the trucks crashing in, for example, Mad Max 2 to this film, and tell me which one feels most impactful. It's just something, and I'm not going to say it feels like a video game, because that would be offensive to video games. And the Borderlands video games, I played Borderlands 1 and I played Borderlands 2. The Borderlands video games are great video games for their time. But I feel like we're way past Borderlands now at this point. We're way past that. Pandora, for its time, has always been a rather bland setting. What made Borderlands exciting were the characters, the very colorful, quirky characters, especially the antagonists, right? Handsome Jack, for example. One of the best antagonists I've ever seen portrayed in a video game, not in this film. So it's a big CGI mess. Action scenes are edited horribly, where you simply get no tension, no feeling as to what's going on. It's just a clusterfuck of CGI. And for me to come here on the podcast and to say that a Borderlands film lacks the color and panache of the video games is shocking. I mean, Borderlands is, again, I'm going to repeat this, just seeing so many different fascinating characters. And there's none of that here on screen. They're just bland, boring adaptations. It's not a Guardians of the Galaxy adaptation, because there's nothing to do with Guardians of the Galaxy. It didn't even take the tone. The action, there's no creativity to the action. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, such creative action in that. Performances, completely miscast. I'm sorry, this cast is completely miscast. I love Cate Blanchett, completely miscast. The rest, Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and co. I'm sorry, they had no idea what kind of film they are in. No idea at all what kind of film they are in. Such a boring adaptation. The personalities of these really colorful characters have been so reined in. It's just unbelievably poorly done. Unbelievably poorly done. $120 million. What a disaster. What a disaster. And you know what the worst thing about all of this is, guys? That this is not even a fun train wreck. It's just damn boring. Just damn boring. So disappointing. So disappointing. And I'll end the podcast with that. Viewers and listeners, my rating for Borderlands, the film, is a 2. No, not a 2. Is a 1.5 out of 5, maybe 1.5 out of 5. Because there were some small fun moments here and there. Overall, absolute disappointment. Absolute disappointment. Viewers and listeners in the chat, thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast. I hope you had a very good time today watching the podcast. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the show. Next week, we will not have a podcast. We will have a short podcast at the pub on the 21st. And if you have not done so already, make sure to click on that going. If you can come on the 21st at the pub, we'll be showing The Devils. It will be Bruce, Califano, myself, Franco, and Joe. Over there, we'll be introducing the bear. We will be talking about the film after, having a few drinks here and there, and having a really fun discussion about a very interesting looking horror film. Eli Roth, please go back to horror. Yes, please do. And with that, viewers and listeners, I'll see you guys next week for this short podcast, not on Monday, but on the 21st, like I said, for the next episode of the Ad Lib Podcast. And with that, I bid you adieu. Free Palestine.